ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, the #1 sports information program in America, the Breakfast Bankroll, with your host, the sports broker, Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week for the Breakfast Bankroll with good friend and colleague live from Tampa, Mr. Scotty Webb, as we do a quick recap of last night's classic. I guess if we had it our way, sign me up for part 3. Winner goes to the Super Bowl, as Seattle somehow, some way comes back and wins in overtime. It was 38-37 against the Rams. 3 bowl games today. Of course, the big one, Alabama, Oklahoma. The headline, will Bama storm the end zones of Normandy versus the Sooners? But first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play, download the app. It is free. And of course, AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com. Terry Smith sent me an amazing package. Steaks, chops, seafood. He's got appetizers and wines too. I got enough protein, not just for the holidays, but to get me through January as well. So Terry will be on either Monday or Tuesday next week to talk some Georgia Bulldogs as they get ready for their playoff game, and talk a little Atlanta Braves, see what they're up to too. No need to talk about the Falcons, but first and foremost, a shout out and bring him in, Scotty here. Listen, we have some high winds today on Cape Cod. Gonna have them all day and night. As we started our first show, it got blown right off the map, literally. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to muscle through about a half-hour show. I got a busy morning here, live with Andrew McGinnis at 10:20, and then Nick Halfcoat is back here at 11 o'clock. So we're gonna thread the needle, but let's bring him in. What's up, Scotty?
I'm working on WBC stuff. How about that?
Shout out to PB for reposting the stream. Thank you so much for all the love and support, PB. Have a great Friday and a better weekend. Yeah, they put up the rosters. Of course, the DR, the Dominican, looks invincible. And then you look at the pitching staff, the 1-2 punch of Skeens and Scooble. So good luck trying to beat the U.S. as well, right, Scott?
Well, that's what I'm doing right now is, some guy from Belgium last night was making some kind of weird comments about the Dominican Republic is not going to be afraid of the United States and, their pitching. And I'm like, that's a comment from Belgium, that's for sure. So right now what I'm doing is, all these players, you can list them down, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I'll be 1,000% honest. The Dominican Republic does not have confirmed players that you're getting reports of. So, for example, Jose Ramirez is not confirmed he's going to play for them. Manny Machado is not confirmed he's going to play for them. Now, it's assumed they're all going to play and probably will. But matchup wise, I think this is going to be a little interesting because as I'm doing this and working this breakout, Team USA is kind of missing a first baseman right now. They don't have a first baseman, and they have two catchers. And the thought, I think, is that Will Smith, the catcher from the Dodgers, is going to play first base for Team USA. Now, that may or may not be the case. I'm not sure. Usually they have two catchers and they split their roles apart and stuff. But Cal Rowley's the catcher, so Cal Rowley's going to play. So here's the interesting point I want to make about this Team Dominican stuff. Okay, so you see the roster, and basically the roster is Yanier Diaz at catcher, Vladimir Guerrero at first base, Ketel Marte at second base, Geraldo Perdomo at shortstop, Jose Ramirez at third base, Juan Soto in left field, Julio Rodriguez in center field, Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field. Now, Manny Machado is supposed to play. Well, Manny Machado doesn't have a spot because Junior Caminero is the designated hitter. So he'll have to play somewhere and he'll have to do something. So I'm not sure how all that's going to matriculate. So that's their lineup. Or that's their roster. Their best pitcher that they have is Sandy Alcantara. That's their guy. So if you're going to match Sandy Alcantara to Paul Skeens and you're going to match him to Tariq Skubal, it's just the way it is because Sandy Alcantara is not Cy Young Sandy Alcantara anymore. So, and you've got Cy Young AL 2 times in a row and Cy Young NL current pitching for Team USA. So that's number one. Number two, the interesting thing is if you go to Fangraphs and you look at projections right now, the projected WAR numbers for these players. And it's not me. I don't make this stuff up. It's just it's the data, right? So Steamer is the one I use. It's better than Zips for a lot of things, and Steamer is really good. So I pull up Steamer. The first and here's the lineup for the Team USA. I didn't say it. So lineup is Kyle Rowley. I put Will Smith at first base, Bryce Terang at second base, Bobby Witt, Gunnar Henderson plays third. Corbin Carroll, Pete Crow Armstrong, Aaron Judge, and Kyle Schwarber. Well, that matches up pretty good, to be honest. And the first thing that I saw when I got on here was the top 4 guys in projected WAR for 2026. Aaron Judge, number 1, 6.8. Bobby Witt, number 2, 6.4. Cal Rowley, number 3, 5.9. Gunnar Henderson, number 4, 5.6. So don't underestimate how good the USA team is. The top 4 guys in all of baseball are playing for Team USA, and the top 2 pitchers in all of baseball are playing for Team USA. So it kind of aggravates me and frustrates me to no end that everybody thinks, okay, well, I just saw these names on the Dominican Republic. Well, the number 1 guy for the Dominican Republic is tied. Julio Rodriguez and Juan Soto at 5.6 apiece. So I'm trying to put this together so I can say, hey, look, these lineups are way better than what you think they are for Team USA, number 1. Number 2, the Dominican Republic isn't as good as you think they are. They just got names that are out there. And then number 3, there is no way, no matter what Dominican Republic pitchers that they have, and Sandy's probably their best one, that they can put on the mound is going to match up to what the United States can put out there. So my opinion is going to be is, and I looked at the odds. They have odds already. So the odds are this. If I can pull up my computer, just went to sleep. The odds are Team USA plus 140 to win everything. Japan plus 300. The Dominican Republic plus 350. So there you go. So those 2 have to play each other before they play because of the way the bracket works, because I looked at that last night too, because getting in this fight with this guy. So Japan and Puerto Rico would have to play each other and then play the Team USA. Team USA is going to have no. They're going to compete with before they get there. So, yeah, and I don't know if you saw, but Team USA, and I just brought up Paul Skeens and Terry Skubal. That's enough. Well, they got Logan Webb now too, and not only do they have Logan Webb, they also have Joe Ryan, and they have Matthew, whatever his name is, Matthew Boyd, and then on the back end, they got the guy that throws 104 miles an hour, Miller from
Mason
Oakland,
Miller.
Mason Miller, and then they got yeah, and then they have Bedard and Bednar and Jax, and like, look, this team, they put it together to go win this thing, and um, everybody talking about Team Dominican Republic, just chill. I mean, you want to put your money on them, go put your money on them. My opinion is they're not going to win, and they might not even make the championship. Because don't forget how good Japan is. Japan's got Otani. Japan will have Yamamoto. They already have Sasaki. They're going to have guys that can pitch, and we're already bidding for players that are going to play probably for Japan this year in this World Baseball Classic, who are going to be players, here. So Japan's going to be good. And anyway, my thoughts are that this World Baseball Classic is going to be something else because of these players that are playing.
Kind of a surprise, a shocker. Michael King, who we talked potentially going to Baltimore, 3 years, $75 million, 25 per. But again, has controlled opt-outs the next 2 years, so he can do a Bregman, where Bregman left $80 million on the table. He had 2 more 40 per from the Sox, but he decided to go to free agency. Michael King will be pitching for the Padres at least for next year. Surprised with that move?
Maybe a little, but not a ton. I think San Diego's in a bad spot, because if I pull up San Diego stuff and I go to where are they? Dun, 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 San Diego Padres. And why is that not working, huh? There we go. Now we're coming. It's just coming slow, I guess, today. Everything's slow, Jeff. How about that?
Yeah, like I said, we're cutting in and out a little here. I don't know how long we're gonna make it. So,
here's what I would tell you about San Diego. Well, maybe Fangraphs is just sometimes Fangraphs website doesn't go well. I was going to tell you their pitching strategy. Joe Musgrove is back, so their problem is they don't have Dylan Cease anymore. So they're in a bad way in terms of just starting pitchers. And how many they have, and with Yu Darvish, I don't know what's going on with him. So and in terms of innings and quantity of innings, you need a guy that's going to throw 160 innings. You need several of them, and so just signing King, as long as he stays healthy, is a guy that's going to throw 160 innings. So I think that's a good move for them, and something that they valued, and say, hey, we need at least a guy that's going to throw 160 innings. And he's been a serviceable, good pitcher. So I think that was a good move for San Diego. I'm not so sure that I sit here and go, it's the greatest thing in the world for him. I don't know what competition level San Diego is going to be at. Luis Ariz is a free agent. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Cronenworth, because I don't think Cronenworth has turned into what they thought he was going to be. I do think that young, skinny center fielder kid, Merrill, is a good player. Here we go. Look at San Diego coming up now. Pitchers for San Diego: Michael King, Nick Pavetta's still there, so that's good. And then Joe Musgrove coming back, and they're talking about Randy Vasquez and J.P. Sears. Okay, well, they're going to get beat all the time. We say that, and then I remember last year, damn Randy Vasquez, you bet against him and he beats you all the time. So yeah, anyway, the point being is that I don't know that that's the greatest pitching staff in the world when you're trying to compete against the Dodgers. And some of the other teams in that division, like the Giants, have great pitching out there. So, yes, it's a good move for them. I would say, at this point, they need more. Their lineup is Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Ramon Laureano. Are you going to get the same kind of productivity out of him that you got last year? I think that might be a one-off thing from Ramon Laureano, and that was it. I don't think you're going to get. He's not going to be your cleanup hitter for the whole year. He might be projected as. And then Gavin Sheets, same kind of player, had an excellent season. They picked him up, but I don't think he's going to do that. Xander Bogaerts, Cronenworth, Freddie Fermin, and I don't know who that is. Sun Mung Sung as whatever. So I don't think that's a lineup that's going to threaten a whole lot of teams. Manny Machado is very streaky. So I think they're going to be in spots where I think they overachieved last year with some of those players. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they'll be there more normal. That doesn't mean they're going to underachieve. It just means they're going to play at their normal level, and their normal level is not very good. So, Ramon Laureano, he was in Oakland. Well, I don't know what you call him anymore. He was at Oakland A, and, couldn't stick. And, so what do? They moved him around, and they I think he went somewhere else and then ended up with the Padres. So
I think he went to the Braves.
Yeah, somewhere. He couldn't play. So if he can't, no, he went to the Orioles. That he was part of that deal, right, with the other guy, the other first baseman. They moved him too. O'Hearn, Laureano, and O'Hearn moved. So anyway, point I'm trying to make, and O'Hearn was on this team, but O'Hearn's a free agent now. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is San Diego had to do something. They have a little bit of money spent because they haven't spent a whole lot right now. I think they're cutting back their stuff, but they went all in with Manny Machado. I'm okay with that move. But developmentally, they have one player, Jackson Merrill, that's going to help them. Everybody else is aging and getting older, and Cronenworth isn't turned into what I think they thought he was going to be. And I think they're going to need to find something else to help them. I think projection-wise, where's the standing projection thing? I think they're actually San Diego. San Diego is projected to be a 500 team. The Arizona Diamondbacks 503, so they're projected to be with them, and the Giants at 492. So those three teams are almost interchangeable right now, and that won't be the case when the Giants start picking up bats. They got some arms.
In Seattle last night, the ghosts of the past and Sam Darnold. We talked about the first meeting where he threw 4 picks. The Seattle turned the ball over 5 times, yet they lined up for a 60-61 yarder to win the game and lost. Well, yesterday, no Devontae Adams, but the Rams just controlled the ball, interception, dumb play, pick, and, down 14-15, game over. Well, a punt return sparks them, then a touchdown, and the NFL did what they do best. They make up rules as they go. Go back 2 weeks ago to the likely touchdown, and somehow, some way, they gave Seattle the 2-point conversion. So, long story short, they go to OT. Rams come down, touchdown, extra point. Seattle comes down, touchdown, goes for 2, and just they control their own destiny now.
Yeah, my opinion is that that game should have never been where it was. The Rams had a 16-point lead with, I think, 9 minutes to go in the game. If you look at win percentages, which, whatever, it's over 90% that they're going to win that game. And I understand what they did. They were not having difficulty running the football much. But they took their foot off the jugular there. They took the foot off the neck. Not meaning that in a bad way. Just when you got a team down, you got to put them down, and they gave them a breath of life because Seattle stopped them, on 3 and outs twice. So prior to that, there was 4 and 5 and 6 minute drives, 10 play drives, 12 play drives. They were just tearing them up, just tearing them up, showing them they're the better team. So then, they stop them. They punt, right? And they can't stop the punt return. So the guy returns the punt for a touchdown. And then they get 3 and out. And then, you got a big play to the tight end and he scores a touchdown. So that tied the game. And then as the game got tied and whatever, they go down in the overtime and score a touchdown, and then they can't stop them. So I don't know what happened there. I think what happened is that, Seattle got some life and they started playing a little bit. Their defense said, hey, we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to let them run down our throats anymore. And they put pressure on the quarterback. So it made it more difficult. But, these guys, and I'm saying head coaches in the NFL, they get paid a heck of a lot of money to not have what happened yesterday happen. When you're ahead 16 points with 9 minutes to go in the game, you better win that game, especially if you're as good as the Rams are. So I think the Seattle team was, I guess the right word is yapping at the end of the game, talking about, well, they were laughing at us. They were disrespecting us. Well, shit, they should be. You're down 16 points and you're out there acting like crazy people. So anyway, I think when you think about this game, it's now very concerning that the Rams give up big plays. And I get it. They want to take methodical drives and control the ball and all that stuff, so the other team doesn't. But if you're going to give up big plays, and whether they're on special teams or whether they're not, you got a problem. And I would also say on the other side, kudos to the quarterback, Sam Darnold, for actually winning the game. But also he put them in the position to be in the first place. You can't go throw interceptions. You can't go turn the ball over. You can't get outplayed. And he was until that last 9 minutes of the game. So anyway, point being is Seattle at home won. And my thoughts are that theoretically they shouldn't have won. And I think, however it turns out, I still think the Rams are the better team. They just let it get away. And I would also say that because Seattle won, that whoever wins that division now, obviously they have the front running steps to get there. But to be honest, they're tied with the same thing as San Francisco is. If San Francisco, I think they play next week, right? San Francisco and San Francisco and Seattle, I think, play next week. Or maybe it's the week after, but they play each other at the end. And if San Francisco wins out and they beat Seattle, San Francisco is your number 1 seed and win the division, not Seattle or the Rams. So very interesting how things played out that way. So anyway, I think Seattle. I don't want to say got lucky last night because they won the game. They had to go earn it to win it. But the Rams certainly gave it away. I will say that. And those guys get paid way too much money to let shit like that happen.
San Fran hosts Chicago next week, and then they host Seattle in the last game of the year there. We got about 10 minutes, Scotty. 3 bowl games today. The highlighter, Alabama, Oklahoma, and then the 3 tomorrow. Do you want to break down one game? Or do you want to just talk?
I think we already did the Alabama game, right? I mean, we already did that. And in terms of where I'm at on that game is I bet Alabama on the money line, several days ago. And now if you do the same thing, I think it's the last time I saw that number. College football. What's this game? Alabama, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's now -1.
Yeah, Oklahoma is -1, and in terms of like money line price, it's -103 plus 101. Well, that's what I get it here, but you might be able to get it, whatever the price is. Um, I don't think anybody should be betting -1 or at all. If you wanted to take +1, you could, I suppose. But anyway, the point being is that I'm on Alabama's side. I just think that Alabama is going to make the adjustments necessary. I don't think Oklahoma can score. So on offense, score enough to make it competitive. Now, the other thought would be is you could certainly look at an under in this game, but this is a rematch. Things happen. Things get a little different. The first games, they don't play the same way. I mean, look what the total was in that NFL game last night, 42.5. I look like an idiot because I bet it under and they scored 75 points. So, it's every game is different. Every game is unique. Big plays happen, turnovers happen, change things up a lot. Penalties happen, all kinds of things go on in these games. So anyway, I'm on that game. I will tell you that there's some interesting thoughts about some of these other games, like looking at newsletters and doing different things. There's a lot of people really like Western Michigan today against Kennesaw State, and the AI and the data that I put into it just can't get there. So it likes Kennesaw State plus the points. I'm not betting that game, but it likes that a lot. And then the other one, and in the NC State game, the line's moving down. People betting on the dog. They're betting on Memphis. My AI likes NC State. So I would tell you that those two games, just be careful what you're betting and understand what you're betting, because in that game with specifically, where is it? Here we go. So in the Memphis game, right? You got your head coach isn't there anymore because he went somewhere else. I forget where he went. But you've got the right tackle who's out. You've got two defensive backs. You've got an opt-out and another defensive back, and your head coach is gone. The defensive backs coach is going to serve as the interim coach, and the new head coach is coming in. And then NC State, though, loses their best running back. He's in the transfer portal, Smothers. He's out. And then you have a couple of potential opt-outs there. The quarterback is going to play in this game, which they didn't think that he was going to, but he is. And then you have a couple of injuries there with the left guard and cornerback. But I think, when you start to think about it, Louisville's played a tougher schedule. Louisville doesn't have a great offense, but, man, they can play defense. And Memphis had a pretty good offense. The head coach is gone. He's not an offensive guy anymore. He's a defensive guy that's there. So I think it's important to kind of be careful. Just know who's playing, because especially there's so many in this Toledo and Louisville game coming up. I'm working on your thing, by the way. So as they're looking at that stuff, that's how that came into play. There's a lot of these teams losing a lot of guys to the portal and just not playing, and that's one of those games, Louisville and Toledo. So in terms of other games, I think Saturday, don't be afraid of Oregon -20 or 20.5 or 21. I bet them at 21, and I'm going to tell you that because I don't think James Madison's going to score many points. If James Madison doesn't score more than 2 touchdowns, they cannot cover this game. They can't. So Oregon's going to do the thing. It's at home. It's in Oregon. It's supposed to be a little, rainy. Of course, we said that yesterday about the other game. It didn't rain much at all. So weather didn't come into the play too much. But I think Oregon's going to dominate that game. They're going to dominate them on defense. And I liked James Madison most of the season, So, and then on the other game that I bet on that day, is Miami. Now I bet Miami at 3.5. I think they're +3 now. Anything +3, anything +3.5, I think you're okay. I think Miami wins the game outright. I think Texas Tech is very good, but I think of quote the strong teams that are in NCAA football. I think Texas A&M is the most overrated of all of them. I'm not so great with their quarterback. I do like their defense and stuff, but all these teams have great defenses. So it's it's a matter of Miami's got a good defense and they got a pretty decent offense. So I think they're going to be able to move the ball. And I think they're going to feel like, oh shit, we got in the playoff. Let's go. Like they're going to be ready to go. They got a veteran quarterback. Now, if he's on, he's pretty good. If he's, kind of a weird mood, he's not so good. So we'll see what that looks like. I think they got a great offensive line. They got a great defensive line. They match up extremely well to this team. So I do like Miami in that spot and in that game. The only one I didn't bet was I didn't get involved in the Ole Miss game. I don't want to get involved in that game. I don't know what to do with Lane Kiffin not being there and how much interest that team. Now, they're a good team. I think they can cover the spread against Tulane. They already played them once. They beat them 45-10. I think can they do that again? Sure. But do they want to? Do they need to? That's kind of where I'm looking at that game going, I'm not sure what to do here. I think Tulane's grown some since the first time they played. I think their quarterback got a little bit better. Obviously, Mississippi's quarterback has been extremely good. Mississippi can run the ball, but their weakest link is their defense. And, one of the strongest things Tulane can do is move the football. So I think that game might be a little hairy when it comes to the number. I think obviously, my opinion, I would much rather have seen Notre Dame and BYU in those two spots than either one of James Madison or Tulane. I mean, I think that would have made for a much better weekend of first round games. Can you imagine having BYU play, I don't know, any of these two teams and Notre Dame playing the other one? I'm not too big into rematches. So say Notre Dame plays this Ole Miss team. What's the line in that? And is Notre Dame actually the favorite on the road? Could be. I think they probably would be. I think Notre Dame would be favored over Ole Miss in this game. And then on the other side, you got BYU having to travel to Texas A&M. Texas A&M might be the favorite, but not by damn very much. And Texas and BYU would give them everything they have. So I would much prefer to see that than see 17 and 21 point spread games.
Me and Scotty will be back Monday and Tuesday next week. Obviously, Wednesday is Christmas Eve. Thursday is Christmas Day. We'll see if we're going to sneak one in on Friday there, and then we'll be back, obviously, the following week to get ready for round 2 of the playoffs. I'll be live with Andrew McGinnis in less than 5 minutes, and then come back at 11 a.m. Hopefully the wind and the internet holds up with Nick Hatcoat as well. So I want to thank everyone, PB, of course, everyone else out here that watches, follow us, the Wagewater community, for all the love and support. Last weekend before Christmas Eve, so if you got stuff to do it today. Get back for the Alabama game, and then you could wrap some presents Saturday with the other 3 college bowl games as well. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports and Wrestling, one and only Mr. Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB. We wish everyone a blessed day, a better weekend. Set the notifications. We'll be back in 45 minutes, and stay tuned.